Pisces, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late February 2022. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get it going immediately. We're going to get right down to business with an oracle card just to test the waters. We're going to see what this energy is like real quick before we fully get underway. So my guides and spirit team, talk to me about the lovely Pisces collective. Let's see what's going on. And yeah, we're just going to look at this first card super quick, then we'll get into the full tarot reading itself. And at the very end, I'm going to pull you a bonus card with the Shadowland Tarot just to see what type of shadow work you might want to lean into or what shadows might pop up in this time, which is always very interesting. There's a lot for you to consider, so only take what hits, you know that. Let's get this first card out. And while we do, I would just like to wish every single Pisces out there a most very happy birthday from me to you. We are officially in Pisces season at the time of this filming, okay? So if your birthday's coming up, I hope you have a great one. Okay, so your emotional connections, those that you share energetic cords with, could really be at the forefront here, or who or what you're giving your feelings and energy to. Now, before we fully dive into this, Pisces, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the February subscriber surprise towards the end. So you might want to check that out. Also, if you're active on Twitter, my handle's @KyleofCups. Please feel free to tweet me things. But into the reading we go. Striking imagery on this card. You see that man, that woman, they're obviously separated by a distance. But the thing that this card always makes me think of is the energetic cords that we share with those we build relationships with. Now, that doesn't just mean romantic. It could be energetic bonds between family. It could be energetic bonds between friends and coworkers. It's always good to remember that those that we're close with, we do share energy. There is an energetic exchange there. So this is, to me, all about the importance and bringing a highlight to who and what you're connected to. Okay, whether you need to cut some emotional connections, energetic connections, maybe build some. Okay, so this is interesting, who you're feeding off of and what's feeding off of you as well. So let's get into tarot. That might be an overarching theme of this spread. It might not. But we're going to get into here. We'll get you 3 cards in the upright, then we'll intuitively clarify. That card doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote, as I like to say. So let's shuffle it up one time here for the lovely Pisces in their season. Okay, now last week's reading was a little rough. It was titled A Serious Issue, so hopefully you haven't been dealing with any rough and choppy waters. The week before that was an emotional message, so everybody knows that water signs are very tapped in emotionally, psychically, things of that sort. So it might have been ramped up a little more than usual the past couple of weeks, but let's see what we have this week. You know the energy is always shifting and changing. Let's see what we got for Pisces, please. Thank you. Yeah, there we go. We have the King of Cups, aka Kyle of Cups with a beard, having himself a little beverage in this rendition. Let's keep it going though. So that could represent you or another water sign. You know how it goes. Okay, we got the Knight of Swords, the action, the movement. Very nice. Okay, and I believe I saw that in the Cancer reading as well. Let's get one more. Hopefully it's not a bleed over from last week with issues, because sometimes that night could be confrontational. Okay, so we have double knights. We have the Knight of Wands here. So you might be in mode to get something going. Go, go, go. Let's keep it moving. But we're going to talk about these one by one. Then I'm going to give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into the juicy intuitive stuff. But starting off front and center, we have the King of Cups. Obviously, that could be any water sign. It could represent you. And in my simplified style of reading, I feel like this could tell us something that's coming towards you or how you might be feeling emotionally. So that could be an important card. But the archetypes we think of this, kings represent control of their respective suit. The King of Cups represents the realm of emotion. So that's where we're going to be with this card. Like how one's feeling, trying to control how they feel, make them feel better, for worse. You know how it goes. But this could represent love situations too, sometimes creativity, all the things we think of with water signs. We'll just have to see. But moving over, we have double knights, double action, double movement. The fastest one right in the center, the Knight of Swords, could be an air sign in your life. And this is like movement of a rocket, like something blasting off. So you might be wanting to move towards something fast. Something could be coming towards you very fast too. It's a determined energy. It's a focused energy. This can also be a little combative, okay? And especially since he's right next to the Knight of Wands. You know how I feel when we have fire and air mixing together. It could be explosive or combustible. So we'll have to see what clarifies these. And as I said, hopefully it's not bleed over from last week where I was seeing something about a serious issue possibly. This could be combative. But moving to the far end of the spread, we have the Knight of Wands. Similar in its movement, similar in its zest, similar in its zeal, could represent a fire sign in your life, Aries, Leo, Sag. And this could be an individual that's the life of the party, that's very social. This is like a party animal type of vibe sometimes, but if it doesn't represent a person like that in your life, this is somebody that has a lot of get up and go, a lot of gusto, a lot of motivation to do something. So this, once again, tying back to that first oracle, could speak about where you're spending your energy, what you're focusing your energy towards. So we're going to want to dive deeper on all this, Pisces. Let's jump in and clarify. Let's put our Knight of Wands down there. Lots of action on the back end. But let's get it going here. Let's shuffle it up one more time and reset the deck before we get it going. What do we got for Pisces, please? And yes, my friends, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. We're going to go in on the King of Cups. And as always, if you read tarot yourself, that's why this box is here. Feel free to play along. If there's any messages you want to deliver to your collective, you just drop it in the comments. I don't mind. I feel like we all learn from each other. I'm just giving you my spin. So let's see what's up with this King of Cups. I definitely do not have a monopoly on tarot interpretation. So what do we got here? Beautiful. Yeah, so if you have been having any issues, if you have been feeling up and down, you might be really working on it. And I'm going to give you a similar message that I believe I got in the Capricorn reading. If you have been feeling a little over-emotional, if you have been feeling like an emotional roller coaster, emotional volatility, keeping your hands busy could be a very important thing in this time. Because the Eight of Pentacles is all about, yes, work situations, working towards a craft, working towards becoming a master at something, but it's more about keeping busy. Okay, so it's giving me a dual message here, very similar to the Capricorn reading. You might be trying to work on yourself, make yourself a more stable individual emotionally, physically, and in all the different ways. This could be self-improvement, or this could be spirit telling you like, hey, if you're having a rough time, you need to keep yourself busy. Don't let your mind get the worst of you here. Okay, so taking control of your emotional state, just like the King represents. Taking something into your own hands. We're going to keep it moving. I feel like that's a very simple message. For some of you, it could be work issues or things cropping up at work. I don't want to go too far into that. But let's see what's up with this Knight of Swords. Really interested to see what this action with these knights could be about. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, this could be a warning here for sure. We have the Emperor in reverse, another fiery type of energy mixing with this air. And the Emperor, the divine masculine counterpart of the Empress, could represent an Aries. So hopefully you're not having issues with an Aries in this time. But when I see him in reverse, it makes me think of one, either somebody that's too controlling or somebody that loses control. So in the first two portions of this spread, it's all about control of various different kinds. And with this Knight of Swords and the Emperor, there might be certain situations that spin off the rails, spin out of control. This is a very similar reading to the Capricorn reading. So if you're tied to a Capricorn, you might want to check that out, because it's almost uncanny how similar these readings are. Okay, so with the Emperor and this guy, this could be a warning for sure that whether it is your emotions that we were referencing earlier, whether it is a situation, it might be hard to contain. For some of you, it could easily just be saying, you know what? If the universe wills it, if that's what the universe wants, so be it. I'm not going to try to change a damn thing. I'm just going to let it flow. So this could also be an energy of releasing control and going with the flow. So fit it to your life however you need. But it could be a warning for sure that things could be combustible. Things could be explosive. So we're going to go in on this Knight of Wands. Then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow card. So why is the Knight of Wands here for Pisces in their season? Thank you. Yeah, so we have fire, air, fire, air. We have the Eight of Swords in the upright under this Knight of Wands. And what does that card represent? Usually somebody that's thinking too much, just like we were seeing earlier, like keeping your hands busy, keeping yourself busy. Find something that is worthy of your attention. Find something that is worthy of your energy. or you're just going to think yourself into a craze. I feel like this is another bit of a warning here. Now, for some of you, this could just be a fire sign that's going through a tough time, or an individual you're connected to that is feeling very nervous, very anxious, on edge. So beware of that type of energy. I don't feel like it's completely treacherous or anything like that, but with the multiple fire-air combinations and the explosive vibes that I've been feeling, which a lot of other signs have been getting recently too, if it's not just a fire sign going through a tough time, you might really need to try your best to rein something in. It could be another warning here on the back end, okay? Now, I'm not saying that to be a fearmonger or try to be treacherous or anything like that. Of course, this could fit into your life in various different ways, but this could just be someone that's like super nervous or a little bit on edge. In which case, with both of these back end situations with the Knights, I would like to point you back to the King of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles, trying to calm things down, trying to get a handle on things. But let's go through and do a quick little recap here. And then we'll get into the shadow card. If you kindly look in the box, in position number 1, the King of Cups with the Eight of Pentacles, like I was just saying. So keeping your hands busy, keeping yourself busy, trying to work on yourself, not like try to calm down some volatility could be a big thing. Maybe things are going on at work or in money situations. I don't feel like the front end is negative whatsoever, but I do feel like we have a couple of warnings here, and that's okay because energy is always moving. But in the center, we have the Knight of Swords with the Emperor in reverse. Yeah. The fire, air double coming up on the back end here. So yes, it could be something that goes off the rails, something that explodes. Now, explosive doesn't have to be bad. Sometimes it could be a burst of passion and motivation, but sometimes it can be a little rough. I also felt if this isn't somebody losing control, this is somebody like conceding, saying, you know what? I'm not going to try hard to fight against this. Whatever the universe wants, it wants. Okay, like go with the flow. But on the back end, we have the Knight of Wands with the Eight of Swords in the upright. So this was telling me you might be dealing with a fire sign that's going through it a little bit, or an individual in your life that you're very close to is like nervous, anxious, on edge. So beware of that in this time. Like there might be a couple people around you that are a little volatile, and that's okay. Double warnings on the back. But keeping your energy focused is the name of the game. Focusing your energy and not letting your mind run you into the ground. So let's get into the shadow. We're going to get the Shadowland Tarot going. And yeah, please take a screenshot if you'd like to look into these further, because these could mean countless different things. I was just giving you my vibes. But let's shuffle it up one time. We're just going to get you one card here, Pisces, and see what we got. Now, when I use the Shadowland Tarot, it's illustrated in a dark way, so it kind of forces us to look at the darker side of the energies, and that's okay. That's what we want to do with shadow work. We're going to keep it brief and concise. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. Okay, we have the Page of Swords. So there has been a little bit of an abundance of sword energy here. Now the Page, if that's not an air sign, a younger individual even, this is somebody that could be too analytical. So maybe you've dealt with somebody that like scrutinized you way too much, or you felt like you were under the microscope quite a bit. This could be someone watching your moves too. So in the shadow version of this, you need to watch out. Like you might be under someone's microscope for sure. But this Page is very defensive. And when I see it as a shadow card, this could also be Spirit saying to you, like, listen, come out of your shell a little bit. Don't be so defensive. If you have something on your mind, if there's something you want to say, don't be afraid to say it. Okay, it could be good for you to release that. You don't have to be defensive all the time. So it's a couple of interesting different things, Pisces. I'm not going to overcomplicate it. It is what it is. And yeah, that's what I have for you this week. So don't click away just yet. I'm going to give the details of the February subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the January subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced on February 1st in my community tab. But for February, we have a very special one. I'll be giving away 2 copies of the wonderful, beautiful tarot gazing deck. This was created by one of our good friends, Heather Stargazer. She's been part of our community since almost the very beginning. And I use this deck in all the readings this week. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, 2 simple things as always. First, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. Second, let me know down in the comments what tarot card you like to see in any love reading. Since it's the month of love, it could be any card. And at the end of the month, as always, I'll put the winners in my community tab. My friends, if you'd like to show Heather some love, you can check the description down there or the pinned comments. All her socials and her Etsy are there. So I'll see you next time. Thank you so much.